It's your boy, Ben Israel, the People Champ, and we are live from Charlotte. Hope everybody is doing well. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, black people. It is Friday, February 9th, 2024. We'll try something new. We'll try something new tonight. I don't think I may have done it, but I don't think I've called it what I'm about to call it. So this segment, I like to name what I do segments like my rift offs and my Havies. And so this one is going to be true story. I typically don't share much of my personal shit because I try to keep things non-anecdotal. But I'm going to share this story. I think it's relevant and I think it can maybe be a little teaching moment. So we're gonna get into this. Amanaz with her signature. Hey y'all is in the chat, and she says, "Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the Cash App, y'all. Hit the Cash App, and I appreciate it. Send me $2 for my tea. We're gonna jump into this Friday Night Raw, y'all. It's been a while. I haven't done a Friday Night Raw. Usually Fridays lately, I've been on other people's shows, you know, uh, doing their Friday shows. So I had nothing going on. I have been thinking about this one, and we gonna see what happens here. We're gonna see how it goes. Ain't nobody really talking about ish. So let's see if with the People's Champ can get some ish going. Before we get started, you don't want to be here. Don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets, out here in these fake book streets, out here in these Instagram streets, out here in these TikTok streets. Y'all got choices. Ain't nobody forcing you to be here. But if you are here, man, we want you to participate because this channel is for the people. It's the people's channel. We want y'all participating. Give me a thumb up or something. Give me a pound. You let me know you're here. Content creators, please let us know you're in the house so we can drop your links. We like to spread that love over here. It's what we do. People are trickling in. We are simulcasting live on YouTube, V Ben Israel, the People's Channel. We are on Facebook, Van Johnson. We are also on Facebook, V Speaks. We are simulcasting live. So wherever you may be, let us know you in the house, man. Don't be quiet. Don't be ghost watching. Don't be doing all of that, man. We don't like that over here. We like everybody to participate. Know what I mean? We not looking for agreement over here. We looking for participation. That's how we roll over here. So I got a story for y'all. I got a story. We ain't gonna monologue too much. We're gonna jump right into this story. I got to give some background so that I guess that'll serve as the monologue or whatever. I gotta give some background. So, uh, where do I start? It's funny. People like to spin the block. Um, People come out the woodwork. Something I hadn't heard from in a while. So this young lady is one of these such people. I hadn't heard from her in quite some time. Um, I would say a good it's 2024, maybe more than 10 years. Maybe about 10 years. Okay, if I had to guess. I mean, I'm not really. I don't want to Joe Biden this shit and be wrong on the dates. I'm a rough guesstimate at 10 years. Shout out to Joe Biden. But anyway, I met her originally through another friend. That we had a mutual friend That mutual friend was a model of mine, and we were doing a photo shoot, and she came along with my friend to the photo shoot, and it was a snowstorm, so we ended up getting snowed into my house, and I had a Mustang, y'all. I couldn't make it up the hill out of my cul-de-sac. Couldn't make it. Couldn't make it 10 feet. If you know what a rear wheel drive car is on some ice, then you feel me. You know what I'm talking about. That's what it was. And so, couple days into it, so they both ended up staying with me. Couple days into it, um, the my friend, the model, I'll call her the model, like the artist, the model. Um, she found a way to go to get some weed or something and never came back. So she sticks me with this girl I just met. Very pretty girl. She was about 21 at that time. And so she ended up staying with me for about a week after that. I mean, if y'all know Charlotte, they don't dig out the neighborhoods as fast as you think they would. So, I mean, it the snow stayed and the ice stayed for a few days, a good 3, 4 days, before it really started to melt at all. And it was still cold at that time, so it kept refreezing overnight. So I wasn't moving my car at all. So, and basically, if you didn't have 4 wheel drive, you wasn't getting out of there. You wasn't getting out of there. And I didn't care anyway. I had food, I had heat and electric and water, I had wood for my fireplace. I was good. I was good. Um, and so and I didn't mind the company. It was cool. So that's how she and I became friends, quote unquote, from that point, right? Um, so and we remained friends, you know, for quite a time, quite some time. You know, a good 5 years, 6 years, something like that. We stayed in contact and stayed friends with each other. Blah blah blah. Went out a couple of times, all of that shit. We stayed in contact. Um, so she decided to spin the block, and I heard from her recently on Facebook. Little minor chit chat, nothing heavy, you know. Because I'm always interested when people do that. Um, Especially to find me on Facebook. Like we don't have mutual friends. And you got to really go looking for me. Just using my name. Again, my father pop up. I'm very difficult to find that way. Like we don't have mutual friends. But she found me. Okay, cool. Whatever. Um, so recently, and I'm trying to be choicey how I say certain things. But so we did the catching up thing. How what's up, what's new, blah blah blah. Now the last time I saw her, she had one child. She had just had one child. That little boy might have been maybe a year old, maybe. Um, Now she got 7 kids, so she's had 6 more in that time period. And again, we roughly talking 10 years. Six more children in 10 years. Never been married. Um, Never really been in no long term relationship, as far as I've known. How could you be spitting out babies like that? Very pretty girl, very pretty. Um, Not ratchet. We talk about she's about 32, 33 now, somewhere in there. Um, but so so again, I was kind of like real curious to see where this all was going, you know. And so anyway, sometimes I would get random messages, yo, what you doing? Nothing, chilling, that kind of thing. So this week the conversation turns different. And that leads to she don't live in Charlotte. She lives about a little over an hour outside of Charlotte, north of Charlotte, northwest of Charlotte. Um, so that turns into me supposedly coming to see her. I'm like, oh, okay, for real. All right. And my response to that is like, I don't drive anymore, so if I come up there, I'm not coming for a couple of hours. I'm coming for a weekend. Like, understand that. Get that clear. And second of all, understand, like, I ain't coming to play no games with you either. I'm not your homie. I'm not your friend. We never had that relationship. You're gonna be dropping some neck. Understand that. Her response to that was, okay, that's what's up. All right, cool. Now she told me about her kids. Her kids don't live with her. Because I asked her, I was like, oh wow, like when she told me she had 7 kids now, um, I was like, wow, what's that like having all them kids in one house by yourself? Oh, my kids live with their father. They're all boys, by the way. All 7 of them are boys. This girl don't do nothing but make boys. So I'm like, cool, cool. And I think that's a good idea, me knowing her, and just my personal belief that boys are better with their father. Not even going to the data and statistics. I just think men do a better job with their sons. So that's good. Let them be with their dads. That's cool. And that means, the dads can't be all that bad if they're able to take care of their son. It's the way I see it anyway. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm reading comments too. But anyway, so all yesterday, we having this conversation. Today, all day today, while I was out, kept getting what you doing text messages. So I told her, I'm probably not going to be free till about 5 o'clock. I'm doing what I do. You know, I don't like telling people all my business. I'm running errands, whatever. uh, the Real Bravado Network is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He says salute. Make sure we get his link dropped in the chat, please. Make sure that link gets dropped. Make sure y'all go over to the Real Bravado Network and subscribe. Check out independent Black Thought. We like to spread the love over here. So anyway, I must have got about 4 or 5 what you doing text messages over the course of today. And I answered them the same way. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, why you keep asking me the same thing? Like, and I keep telling you, I'm running errands. I'm doing what I do. I'll be free around 5 o'clock. Um, Usually on my way home, I stop and get me something to eat. So I did because I really didn't take this invitation very seriously. Because never did, not one message today was like, so you still coming to see me, right? It was just what you doing. And I don't play the guessing game, the subliminal shit. I don't do none of that. You got to be specific with me. Otherwise, it's regular schedule programming for me, right? So anyway, I we got something to eat, came home. Actually, I came home first because I left my wallet here this morning, and then I went out and got something to eat, and then I came back. But then she texted me back, because I just happened to respond to her. Well, what you doing? You know? Oh, I'm on my way to my mother's house. My mother lives in another city, you know, um, north, going towards the mountains, north of Charlotte, northwest of Charlotte. Um, so I'm saying to myself, like, wait a minute, I thought we had plans. Why are you going to your mama house? And you plan on spending the night at your mama house. So I, I say to her, well, hey, well, that's what's up, man. And, tell your mother I said hi because I do know her mother. Tell your moms I said hi. I guess we'll figure out something tomorrow then. Then she fires back. Well, that's why I was asking you all day, was you coming? I'm like, you never asked me, was I coming? What you asked me was what I was doing at the moment. And I told you. But you never followed up with me on like to finalize the plans. Well, I'm not the type. They always want to tell you they type. Well, I'm not the type to really plan everything out like that. Well, look, I'm coming over an hour to see you. I'm coming over an hour away to see you. You goddamn well you're gonna plan it out with me. I ain't in pop-up range. You don't live around the corner. You an hour and some change north of Charlotte. Okay. And I ain't seen you in 10 years. Let's be real. So I get the standard bullshit talk. Now all of a sudden, oh, I just don't let everybody come to my house. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not everybody. Like, how many times have you spent weeks at my house? Like, let's be real about this shit. How many hotels have we stayed at together? I mean, come on now. So her response to that was, well, that was years ago. It's different now. Like, I was expecting some type of first date shit. First date? I said, sweetie, we are well beyond first date. Let's be real about it. I I don't know what you think this is. Who you think you dealing with? Allow me to reintroduce myself. Mucho gusto. This is V Real, the people's champ. You better goddamn recognize who you talking to. You ain't talking to your scrub ass baby daddies who gonna fall for that reset the clock shit. Stop. Yeah, it's been 10 years. I give you that. Or almost. I might be slightly overestimating it. Close to it. It's been quite a while. But you don't have the kind of relationship that we had where again, you spending weeks with me in my house. We taking trips out of town sometime. not far, but in the region, sharing, hotels, sleeping in the same bed, sexually active. Let's be fucking real about this. You don't go from that to we on some like you just meeting me for the first time, first date type shit. No, no. That's that born again version shit. Bitch, you got 7 kids by 7 different men. Let's be real. Cause see, then the niggas come out in the text message. Nigga, you must be crazy. Oh, really? I must be crazy. Okay. Um, and it's funny because I met another I made another friend through her. Um, she used to lie to this girl. This girl was um they used to be neighbors. And I would always see the girl all anytime I would go over there. And we was all cool. We used to hang out. Then I used to run into this girl downtown all the time for like a few years, So me and her became cool. And she said to me, like, yo, what's up with your cousin? I'm like, my cousin. She was like, I ain't gonna say the girl's name, but she said the girl's name. I was like, that ain't my cousin. She's like, that's not your cousin. She was like, yo, that explains a lot. She was like, I thought that shit was lying to me. I was like, well, why you say that? And she was like, well, I asked her to hook us up, and she acted funny. So the whole time she was telling me that you was her cousin. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. Hook me up with your cousin then. And now all of a sudden she started acting funny to the girl. And that girl was pretty too. Not as pretty, but she was cute. She had green eyes. And I think she was from New York originally too. So that's what me and her had in common. She was from up top somewhere. It wasn't Jersey or Philly, so it had to be New York or Connecticut. But I remember her. She had real pretty eyes, the green eyes. She was cool as shit. Um, and she schooled me to some shit about what these girls be doing with the domestic violence shit. I didn't know at the time, but at the time she told me, she was like, yeah, a lot of these girls, they scream domestic violence. So the social worker uh, uh, moved them into an apartment. That's a quick way to skip the line. At the time, I I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going on. Sure enough, that's going on. And they still doing it to this day. And coincidentally, that's how I think my friend got to the city she's in now outside of Charlotte. Because I've heard other girls say the same thing. And one of the cities that they like to move people to is about an hour outside of Charlotte. One um either northwest of Charlotte or they'll move you south of Charlotte too. Um like Kings Mountain. Um you scream domestic violence and all of a sudden you in Kings Mountain. Um Also, Albemarle, they'll move you to Albemarle. They move you to the outskirts, basically, is what they do. They'll set them up there. I did not know any of this was going on at the time, but since then, I've seen this thing happen many times with different people who didn't know each other.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
See, there's a lot of entitlement programs beyond Section 8, and they know how to manipulate the system. And screaming domestic violence, you don't have to prove nothing. You don't have to have a police report. You ain't even got to have a boyfriend. And a lot of times the social workers, they won't come out flat out and say it, but they'll hint at it to get the girls to say it so that they can take action on it. And that's what my friend was telling me. So anyway, she was like, yeah, yeah, she was like, I was trying to get at you, at that time when you was coming around, um, whatever, whatever, whatever. And she was like, I didn't even realize y'all was messing around because she was still dealing with her baby daddy. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And she was like, yeah. She was like, that's why I asked. I was like, well, hook me up. And that's why she got weird. I was like, oh shit, wow, okay. So they scandalous, man. Um, but yeah, so going back to the text messages, and she of course they got to explain everything. I'm really getting better, or I'm getting desensitized to it, because usually I would have aired the ass out. I just didn't even feel like typing. I'm like, okay, that's all I would type. She got 2 paragraphs with the shit. Okay, and my house is my safe place, and see, that's that talk. That's that domestic violence talk. They teach them to say those words. My safe place. And I'm saying to her, is like, all of these years you've known me, when have you not been safe with me? Hell, I'm like, the very first day I met you, you stayed in my house for almost 2 weeks. Weren't you safe? Like, when have you not been safe? Like, let's be real. Let's be real. But what I figured at that time, she was trying to make me, this is the polygamy shit, the polyandry shit, rather. They like to use certain dudes for certain things. So I was the emergency dude, the emergency call dude. She in a jam, need a ride, something happened. Um, you know, Now that I think about it over the years, it was always a lot of those kind of situations, um, you know, always would kind of pop up. And a lot of chicks like to keep that emergency, that breaking case of emergency dude, you know, um, whatever. So I'm like, is she really trying to spin the block and reinstate that shit? That is not gonna happen at all. See, I never told her I don't drive no more. Never said that. Never told her about the stroke. None of that. So remember, the stroke happened when I turned 40. That's when the stroke happened. So I hadn't seen her um during that time period. I might have heard from her right maybe a year before I had the stroke, but not after I had the stroke. Definitely not. But yeah, this long ass text messages, and like I said, okay. And then, well, my kids is my first priority. Well, that says it all for me. What you calling me for then? Your kids is your first priority. And what you doing talking to me? You should be raising your kids. Why they with their fathers? What are you doing? See, certain things just come, black women, y'all just get used to saying them. And y'all all say the same shit. It's almost like a script y'all following. That's why I just kept saying, okay, like I know everything that's coming out. And it's something about dick don't impress me or something she said. I said it's kind of funny. You will go out of your way to get it. Before, what's different? What's different? Because I ain't never chased her. She would find me most of the time. And it was cool. I liked her. Never had no problems, but all of this attitude, strong baby mama shit now, fuck no. Because most of the time I was dealing with it, she ain't had no kids. Um, Towards the end, like I said, she had popped up with that one, but other than that, I mean, most of the time I was dealing with her, she had no kids. Um, but this resetting the clock, you don't get to go backwards. You don't get to have a sexual relationship with somebody for years. For years. I'm not talking about one time, two times, for years. And then, even though some time has gone by, all of a sudden you want some, I need to take you out on a date like I just met you, wine and dine you shit. Now we playing pussy games. Like I was getting the pussy when you was in your 20s. Now you 30, 32, 33. Like your clock is backwards. That's the way I look at it. Clock is backwards. But they do this. They try to play these games. Um, Kevin made the analogy one time with he was explaining I think he was talking to Anton McDaniels, and I believe it was Anton, and he was telling he used the analogy of cost benefit calculator. Um, Men is like buying a car. One dealership is selling the car for $100. The other dealership is selling the same car for $100,000, and that's how women like to play that game. You know, and it ain't just with different men. They'll do that shit with the same man. Like, wait a minute. Yesterday you told me the car was $100. Why all of a sudden today is $100,000? And then tomorrow it'll be $100 for the next dude. Like, we don't. That's not how men work. The price has got to be what the price is. You can't go from 100 to 100,000 and shuffle the cards and play games. And it's up, it's down, it's back. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And that's why I had pushed the conversation yesterday, and I made it clear: if I come up there, you gonna be dropping that neck. Do you understand? Oh yeah, that's what's up. So all of that, I'm in my safe place shit. That was your opportunity yesterday to say, wait a minute. I got my kids here. I don't bring everybody here. Why didn't you say that yesterday? And then I also said, well, how long do you want me to stay? That was a trigger for you to say, oh no, my kids is here this weekend. This ain't a good weekend. Why all of that didn't come up? So I don't play them games. I don't play them games. I don't play. I did say some shit before I blocked her. Um, because there ain't no more to say. You know, you don't played yourself. You don't showed your cards and you played yourself. um, but it's hard to play yourself with somebody who done dealt with you that many times. Like, are we serious? Are we serious? Again, this ain't somebody you might have hooked up with once or twice. This is beyond that. Well beyond that. Um, I just find these resetting the clock games hilarious. And it seems like the older they get, the more they want to do this. And I don't understand it. I don't under. If your kids is your number one priority, what do you want with me? I mean, let's get it. Go ahead and say. Let's go ahead and say it. But I ain't got time to play. I have no interest in playing. You're too far out of town. I, I, I mean, and they all do this. It's like it becomes a reoccurring pattern. Some version of this, reinventing history and you know, and bringing up conversations that ain't never happened. And I'm like, why do y'all remember that stuff, but y'all don't remember the stuff that did happen? I just find that funny. I find that funny. And I could say more, and it ain't really about trying to embarrass nobody. I could say more. I'm just really trying to keep it PG, because it's a family show. I'm trying to keep it PG. But yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting to me. Like where they mindset be at. At least with her, I could like, and one thing I liked about her is because she was so pretty, but she was down to earth. And it's like now she's discovered she's pretty. But you got 7 kids and 7 baby daddies. That takes away. That takes away. So ranking, we always talk about ranking. She would be a bona fide 8. She would be a bona fide 8. Very pretty. Them 7 baby daddies drops her down to a 3. You're well below average. You're a 3. You need to be grateful, humble, have some humility at this point. Just to give an example of the ranking. But what can I say? What can I say? So that's a true story. I usually don't share my personal adventures. I think I did a good job. I didn't mention any names. It really don't matter. Um, uh, I just find it funny. I find it funny. So look, I'm gonna jump off of here. Hit the like button, subscribe button on the way out the door. You can hit the Cash App at any time. And stay tuned. We'll be back again. I'll let your boy, man. Let me know you thinking about a brother here. Holla.
Well, look at that. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy.